Well, again, thanks everybody for being here. It is our second campfire call for 2017, and like Jim just said, man, I can't tell you, I had a very exciting, in-depth conversation with our special guest that come onto the call in a few minutes earlier today, and suffice to say, we are continuing to elevate. Really exciting stuff going on. But before we get to that, uh, I want to talk to a couple people around the country who have just in this last 7 days or less have been receiving the new Elevate stick bags. And I want to talk to a couple people and see how that's working out for people and get a little feedback. And we're going to start with Julia Delgado down in Houston. Julia, you with us?
Yes. Hi, guys. How are you? Good evening.
Good, good. Thanks for being
Um,
on the call.
well, first of all, I love our sexy coffee stick. Okay. And I love that sexy brochure we have, which I can agree the pictures are amazing. Thank you very much for that illustration. Well, I want to give just a quick testimonial. Ever since October 2016, I've been feeling a little bit weird and dizzy and very heavy on my eyes. And the reason why is since since the birth, I've been anemic all my life, right? So what that means is my iron level are not either too high or too low. So since October, I've been having that. So I have to take iron pills and a diet that has high iron in it, right? So since October, I kind of started not taking care of myself as I usually do because the holidays hit and all that. But I stopped taking care of myself, which it was really bad. So it hit this January. It started hitting me in my health worse. It started getting worse and worse. So I started getting a little bit busier. I started sleeping more and being anemic. You don't have appetite for anything, and then you don't have strength to do many things. So I didn't notice until I couldn't wake up one morning, which it was like the scare of a lifetime for Alan. He just couldn't believe what was going on. So I went to the doctor and they told me that my irons were really messed up. Like I was not producing and I was not taking in iron to be able to sustain my body. So like January, I believe the 10th, I started feeling really bad. So I started taking iron shots and vitamin shots. And that helped a lot, but it still didn't help me as much to stay awake. But I noticed that because I was taking my Elevate, now it's a routine for me. That's my ritual every morning. I wake up, I put my pot of coffee, my hot water, and I make an Elevate for Alex, and I make an Elevate for myself. I wake up my kids, and I dress them for school, and then I drink my Elevate while I'm dressing them, and I'm getting them ready for school to drop them off. So I noticed how I was staying up regardless of all these vitamins hitting my body because I was taking shots every day of them. So one day Donna called me and we had this small conversation, and I realized, okay, I was able to do all this stuff because I was able to stay up because of the coffee that I'm drinking. So this month, Alex and I were so glad to hit our first bonus, and Alex had nothing to do with it. I was able to do it by myself, and I am so glad because I'm able to stay awake when back then I couldn't do that, like because of my iron levels. Now I'm better, that I'm still drinking. Like my coffee is, I take it every day. Now it's a ritual.
Well, it's always great to have truth behind elevating health, wealth, and happiness, right? It sounds like Elevate Coffee as a functional beverage is really helping you in your life. Uh, so we're happy for that. We're happy that you're able to do the things that you need to do, and we have a lot more coming, Julia. That our health and wellness products that we will continue to develop are going to just continue to help you and hopefully millions of other people elevate their health and live a better life, right?
And I'm glad because I'm able to share it with the girls and the guys that are going to the doctor for the same reason that I go. All my life I have dealt with it, but I've never actually found something that I could stay awake without going to sleep, folding clothes or maybe sometimes just watching a movie and I fall asleep, you know. So I'm able to actually stay up. So that's why I take it, and I take it twice a day, and I stay up. I'm able to be productive, which that's what my business is.
Well, thanks for being with us. Say hi to Alex. I don't know if he's there with you, and we'll talk to you guys soon. We're gonna go now
Awesome. Thank you
to.
so much.
Thank you, Julia. We're gonna go to Atlanta, Georgia, with June Klein, one of the hosts of this past Saturday's Sensational Saturday. Her and Sandy Weaver. June, are you there?
I am. Thank you, Robert.
Thank you for
So
being here.
excited. We had a sensational Saturday, and Donna Valdez, our president, literally blew in a storm. She flew in a storm. She just really went through literally hell and half of Georgia to get to us. And we had a fabulous day. We had a really in-depth training with her, and not only did she tell us her wit and wisdom and philosophy and how to do this business, but she demonstrated. When one of the person that was taking care of us from the restaurant, uh, the server, came in, and Donna was the only one to say, hey, would you like to try this new stick of coffee? And the gal was like, yeah, absolutely. So Donna said, well, you got to come back and tell us how it was or how you liked it. So she went away for a little while, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes. And we were in the middle of our learning when those glass sliding doors flew open, and she came busting in there with an energy that literally rocked us back. And she said, what is this? Where do I get this? What is this stuff? Was ready to,
Wow.
I mean, she's out there telling her people, and it was really exciting. So one of our members, our team members, Melinda, is got her name and her information and is following up with her. So that's that story. That was exciting. And then, as you know, I'm a speaker, and I had an event yesterday, and it was um, a small group, but a very powerful group. And it was for this group that they do everything from IT to shipping. They're all about transportation, and they're a massive company. And I felt I had the sticks, and I really wanted to give them as gifts to these people, this group, but I can't sell from the platform. I've just felt all wonky about whether to do it or not. And when I pulled up and was doing some research on them, the words that came up on the screen were something like elevating connection and education. And I thought, okay, if they got the word elevate in there, then we're going for it. So I put out my flyer, my handout with elevate coffee sticks beside it. Briefly mentioned it at the very beginnings because they had a great party the night before with Belinda Carlisle of the Go-Go's, and I said, okay, some of y'all might need a little boost today, so this is a gift to you, and I shared that with them, but that was about it. But then at the end, before the end, one of the gals tore open and started drinking, and I could smell it. So I said, ooh, I smell a really good brew. And she laughed, and she said, yeah, and I work at Starbucks. So she's in IT, or the transportation part of Starbucks. And she had that, and about 15, 20 minutes later, I said, how you like that? How you feeling? She said, this is good. Y'all, this is good. And she loved it and friended me already on Facebook. And so we haven't started talking yet, but we will. And then at the end of my speech, the lady that invited me to be there, she said, June, why don't you tell us a little bit more about this coffee? So I did. And I'm going to follow up with all those people there, and we will have some more people that love our coffee.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing. We're glad that you had a successful Saturday. Exciting when, I talk about it all the time. All you have to do is get this coffee into their uh, stomach, their mouth, get it in their mouth. That's it. It sells itself. Hands down, I haven't had a single person, I don't know of anybody that has had anybody who has had any kind of negative response or reaction. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen in 21 years of doing what we do. So exciting stuff going on for sure. But we have a limited amount of time. We have a special guest, but to bring him on, I want to bring on Donna Valdez, our illustrious Madam President, who just had her birthday. Happy birthday, Donna, officially from everybody.
Thank you.
And I saw a picture of a big, giant 64-ounce mug that someone gave you. Do not fill that with Elevate because, it doesn't work that way. I have experienced that firsthand. This stuff works so well, guys, and if you're new, if you're trying Elevate for the first time, do not drink it in the same volume that you drink regular coffee. It's a lot different than regular coffee. It's got other ingredients, and Kevin's probably will talk about that right now. But so Donna, love for you to bring on our guest. I know you guys have been together and working together for 15, 16, 17 years. And, obviously because of you, we have the blessed opportunity to have an exclusive manufacturing relationship plus with the person you're going to bring on as our special guest. But love for you to do the honors, and then we'll talk shop about the products, and then of course announce our big announcement.
Thank you. Well, hello everybody. My pleasure to be here tonight. I am so excited to be here this evening with you on this Thursday evening campfire call, and what a fantastic time. Yes, it was difficult to travel to Atlanta for the sensational Saturday, but as I told the people that were there, it means something great is about ready to happen, because it was, every obstacle we overcame. So congratulations to all those that stepped up, and that is very, very exciting. And it is my huge honor to bring someone that I got to know decades ago, his genius, his commitment to excellence when it comes to product development, when it comes to just developing great product. You'll hear his passion in his voice. His knowledge blows everyone away. He's also, hilariously funny, even though you start talking to him, and I always have a great time. So it's with my honor that I can introduce everyone to the one, the only, Kevin Thomas, out of Alternative Labs in Naples, Florida. Are you on the line, Mr. Kevin?
Yes, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you loud and clear. Ooh, I'm so excited to introduce you to everyone. This is awesome.
Nice to hear from you all. Thank you for the introduction. Nice to meet everybody on the phone. My name is Kevin Thomas. I'm in Naples, Florida. I'm a formulator, manufacturer in the nutritional and supplement industry for 35 years now. So I'm going to tell everybody I started when I was 5, so I don't express my age. And I make the Timeless, the Pure, the Elevate, and there's about 15 more things that we have in the queue. Really exciting stuff. To give you a little background on myself, I've formulated and manufactured over 3,000 products in my 35-year career. They've resulted in a lot of national brands that you see today, and over the years, as we get to know each other, you'll see some of the things that we've had the ability to work with. And the most important part of that is you learn in the process of manufacturing concepts, technologies, and theories that aren't in textbooks, that don't get taught in universities, that only get learned through applied applications. The most exciting part of my relationship in this industry I like to think outside the box. That's why I name my factory Alternative. If you want a bottle of vitamin C or something, I'm not the guy to come to. I want super challenging things. I want products that are effective, that make a difference in people's life. I was raised with the philosophy, if you can meet someone and leave them in a better condition than when you met them, you've done your duty on earth. And it's very rewarding to do that. Some of these products are showing that expression, and the technologies and the science and the access that we have with our facility, excuse me, is really limitless. I've got PhDs and MDs and all different types of doctors that work with me at my facility and work through my international network. So if there's a question of science and nutrition or wellness that requires technology, we have a global outreach with universities and clinicians and trials. So we've got great access. What we need is a way to reach the consumer. Our partnership with this company and with close long-term relationships of trust like we have with Donna, it gives us access to you, the people that can build the business, that can share the products and share the stories. So it's an honorable relationship that's mutually rewardable, and it's lucky for me. I'm the one that's honored by having the relationship with you guys, and so I appreciate it. Let's talk about the products real quick.
Absolutely.
Kevin,
I mean, first of all, you heard. Go ahead, Robert.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, you heard some of the people there. They love Elevate Brew right now. That's what we have on the screen. Why don't you give us a little insight on what the, how you came about it, what was so, if you could give a little bit deeper into the nootropics, the science of Elevate, that would be awesome.
More important than the science, Elevate is responsible for the 15-year recovery of my garage. For 15 years, the junk that got in my garage had kept accumulating, and my wife kept saying, well, it'd be nice to park our car there. And I know that's not what this call is about, but I got to tell you, why is that responsible for the cleaning of my garage? Donna, when you and I spent all those months back and forth, and Donna would come down and stay at the house, and she's just a blast to be around, and she's so bright, your mind keeps working. So we're working on the formulas and change this ingredient and try that ingredient and change this flavor. We're trying it and trying it. Well, every time you make these changes, you keep drinking this coffee. So I'm having coffee after coffee after coffee after coffee. And the only thing I could do when I get home was clean the dang garage. So in 2 weeks, after 15 years, my garage is completely clean because of Elevate, because I just drank so many coffees. Robert spoke earlier. Don't keep doing it. I'm up till 3 o'clock in the morning going, I can throw this away.
That's so funny.
So let's talk about what Elevate, what Elevate Brew really is. Coffee is a great delivery system. It's something that people do all the time. Coffee has naturally occurring energy. Coffee has a lot of thermogenic benefits. But one of the neat things about coffee in itself is a great masker. It's a way to hide things. If we remember watching some of those news channels, how not in a bad way, but these drug dealers would smuggle in, narcotics, they would hide them in coffee because the dogs couldn't smell it, because it would mask the smell. It would mask the traceability of those compounds, and that's the way the Colombians and a lot of people used to do it. Well, that opened the door for a lot of people to think about using coffee flavoring and coffee extracts as a masking agent. And it is really effective. If you were to taste the elemental active compounds, all of those 9 ingredients that you see on the back of the stick pack bag, and you tasted them by themselves or in a mix, it's not real good. You'll add new words to your language. But when you put it in coffee and you put it in the right percentages, we're able to mask that. Sure, we don't have this knock you off the couch delicious coffee, but we have a knock you off the couch therapeutic coffee that's going to really change your world. And the foundation and the philosophy of this coffee is different than anything else on the marketplace. And I don't think it's beatable, and it's not easy to compete with this foundation. Nootropics, Nootropics, like nootropics, and you could look that up, and there's a lot of Google research on that. Those are psychological neurostimulants that provide balance and satiety, the satisfaction, to the brain chemistry. Our brains is really our subconscious is our chemical factory in our brain. Our brain seeks opiates and dopamine, dopamogenics, different things that are neurostimulants that tell our brain the thing that we took provided us satiety, provided us a reward, provided us a stimulation. And they can be good things and bad things. Sugar will act like a nootropic because it sends a dopamogenic response to the brain. You've heard of people, I got a sugar high, I've been drinking too much Mountain Dew or whatever. When our body gets stimulants, whether they're food stimulants, carbohydrate stimulants, protein stimulants, chemical stimulants, it rewards these receptor sites. And that's how the body is designed. Those rewards create an emotional satiety, emotional well-being. Nutritionally and in our gut, we have a different center that has a different well-being. I keep eating until my tummy feels full, and then I stop eating. Do you know that the tummy doesn't know when it's full? We're thinking that the tummy is sending the message. The tummy sends the message to the brain through those nootropic receptor sites, and when the stomach has given enough chemicals to the brain, it tells the brain you've had enough and shut off. And that signal usually is 20 minutes late. So you just keep eating, and then I've had too much, and then you have that Thanksgiving dinner belly, and you're like, man, I just ate too much. Because it's the brain that controls. You've heard the divers, so goes the head, so goes the body. That's what happens with the chemistry. What if you could control the brain, give your brain nutrients that receive the same satisfaction signal as a 64-ounce big gulp full of 90 grams of sugar? What if you gave it those same nootropic signals that gave you those rewards, like you ate a half a pound of chocolate, you ate a whole bunch of steaks and other foods? Nootropics are the satisfying nutrient ingredients that shut off and block these receptor sites from expanding their demand. When we look at the addiction categories in pharmacological or street drugs, you take a little and you want more. You take a little and you want more because the body doesn't reuptake it. The body spends it, and you're going to keep addicting, and you want more and more and more. And you're going to have to take more of those narcotics, by example, to keep satisfying the demand of the brain, therefore the addiction. The same thing happens in foods, in what we eat. Let's do a quick example. It's 11:30 at night. Excuse me. You get up in the middle of the night. I think I'm hungry. Really, you're bored. Really, you're not stimulated. Really, your brain is still awake. You're not hungry. You just ate dinner a couple of hours ago. I got to go to the refrigerator. You don't know what's in there. You don't really care what's in there at that time, and you're technically not hungry, so you boredomly walk to the refrigerator. You open the door. Oh, my gosh, I got to have that cheesecake or that pie or that whatever's in there, and you'll notice that your body goes to the quickest solution. What's the fastest thing I can grab out of that refrigerator and shove down my throat? And why is that happening? The neurons in your brain are reacting from a chemical stimulation that happens. There's a memory stimulation. The last time you ate cheesecake, you got nootropic pounding of satiety, of satisfaction in the brain. And the time before that, and the time before that, and the time before that. We have trained our subconscious mind. That cheesecake, that black triple chocolate cake, that garbage or whatever it is that we can grab in an instant is trained in the brain. That's my reward. And so you will actually, without eating the cake, manufacture nootropic compounds that send a signal to the brain, reward, and now you want more. Remember the addiction cycle? I got a little bit, I want more. Your subconscious brain tells your conscious brain, grab the cheesecake, sit down and have that, then you go back to bed. And it's wonderful, and you got the great chemical reward. The problem is you get on the scale, and everybody else knows what happens from there. And we do this time and time again. That same thing happens when we look at a plate of food. I really only need to eat half of that macaroni and cheese. but it takes 20 minutes for the signal to get to my brain. I'm going to eat the whole mac and cheese. So if you can take an ingredient, the compound, the groups of ingredients, the nootropic partners that work together, like we have in Elevate, get them bioavailable. That warm cup of coffee in a liquid form gets immediately into the bloodstream and immediately sends that signal a lot faster than the 20-minute food cycle directly to the brain. Man, your brain just thinks I had 2 cheesecakes and a chocolate cake and a 2-pound steak. It thinks it has all of those things. So that demand, the subconscious lack of control demand, shuts off. You don't have an appetite. You don't have desire. You're indifferent. You know, the opposite of love is not hate. The opposite of love is indifference. I just don't care. You can open the refrigerator and go, I might try that apple. You're going to make a conscious decision because for the first time, you're in control of what's happening because your subconscious mind has been shut off. That's that chemical factory in your brain. So nootropics are neurological stimulants that are plant-based compounds extracted that give the brain the satiety it's looking for to allow you to say no to food. Everybody that's been on a diet saying no to food sucks. Sorry, that's a chemical. That's a, you know, as a biochemist, I can say that. Saying no to food sucks. Everybody else is eating it. Why can't I? I'm only going to have a little bit. Why can't I cheat? That's a real hard thing. And so we get to the yo-yo program. Weight comes off, weight comes on. You know, and then we find ourselves seasonally diet. Well, I want to look good for the summer. I want to look good for the wedding. When you're in control of the brain, you're indifferent. I just don't want it. I just don't care. There's not a single weight loss ingredient in nootropics. Weight loss is the result of a balanced, controlled mind. So those nootropics give you that balance and control. The coffee is a great delivery system. And did you know that caffeine is a chaperone molecule? A chaperone molecule is a molecule that acts like a partner that helps deliver a compound to its destination. And the brain is the easiest place to deliver the stimulant caffeine. And it will take with it these nootropics. There's a lot of Advils and aspirins and Tylenols and all of those things. They use caffeine because they know it gets that anti-inflammatory, that pain medication to the brain. So this is highly effective. You can actually feel it with an ounce of the coffee. You take the product, you're going to enjoy 4, 5, 6 hours of natural energy. You're going to enjoy a better mood. So your appetite is controlled. You have good energy, and the mood, you want to pay attention, a balanced mood, a happy mood, a satisfied mood, not so quick to snap, not so quick to be stressed. And that feeling is what we really all strive for. I just want to be happy. And you will accumulate more and more psychological happiness because you aren't in a stress factor. Your chemicals aren't throwing you into demands that are making you focus on everything else to look for a stimulation. So happy, energy, and appetite suppression. That gives you weight loss and daily balance. And the Elevate name is fantastic because together, that's going to elevate your well-being, elevate your life, elevate your energy. And the coffee is really exciting. And nobody has something that performs like this, acts like this, can be demonstrated like this. The rest of the guys, they got some mushrooms and they got some Garcinia cambogia that's been on the market for 28 years. And if it was so good, why don't people have all the weight gone? This is life-changing and world-changing. Donna, before we talk about the next one, any questions on Elevate?
I have
no.
an entire page of notes. Thank you very much. I do have a question myself, Kevin. And we haven't spent very much time on this, and not that we're going to spend any time on the answer to this question, but something occurred to me as you're describing what happens at 11 o'clock at night, right? When you're going in the refrigerator and you're looking for something. I guess my question is, I know we are going to continue to bring out other products, but is one of those products going to be something that obviously I don't want to drink a cup of Elevate at 11 o'clock at night, right? But I want to have the same kind of response to those feel good, happy chemicals in replace of the cake that I'm going to pull out of the refrigerator.
So you're one of those kids that likes to open the Christmas presents 2 weeks before Christmas.
Yeah, no kidding.
Okay, let's go to the next.
I'll tell you, yes, you're getting
Move
a
on.
wonderful Christmas present, and you're going to have all of those solutions because we need to address this issue 24 hours of the day, and we have on the platform all of those answers. Yes.
Yeah. I think I was sort of just thinking what a lot of people were thinking, and that was like, a little teaser. So, Donna, sorry. Pierre's up next.
All right. Well, listen, this is a product that Kevin has been, he got introduced to the main ingredient for Pure. Pure is a product that, everybody in the field we brought to the market just a couple of weeks ago, really, in full-fledged. It is a heavy metal detox, and Kevin is genius again at bringing an already kind of there are other products on the market that are similar to this, but because of his knowledge and his technology and his science, he has raised the bar and has improved the formulation of this. So Kevin, why don't you tell us a little bit about Pure and what it does, how it does it, and how ours is so unique and special, please.
So the reason Pure even exists in this form is because of Donna. A long while back, she brought me people that were interested in that type of a zeolite technology that could be micronized, that could be hydrolyzed, that could be in suspension in a small enough molecule that these cages, these ionic cages that attract heavy metals, that have a polarity, if you will, like little micromagnets that go through the body and free up heavy metals that are trapped in tissue, are trapped in adipose tissue, fat cells, everywhere in the body. And you'll see heavy metals if you've ever done a live blood cell. To look at your human live blood cell, you can actually see orange around the cells. That's rust. That's heavy metals. There's 8 toxic heavy metals, and there's a lot of metals within the human body, and we, in micro doses, the body can manage them. But toxicity, and you've heard of disease states that heavy metals contribute to Alzheimer's and with the kids, sorry, and a lot of the youth medications that they have for the vaccines, they have heavy metals in there to make the vaccine stable, to make it last on the shelf, and to act like chaperone molecules to help some of the vaccines get delivered. Well, these toxins really inhibit our longevity and inhibit our ability for our organs to function the way they do because they block metabolic responses. Imagine a metal cage around your cells, and they're supposed to trade oxygen, and they're supposed to trade nutrients, and they're supposed to trade water. And if they've got little metal cages, if you will, around these cells, they can't communicate. They can't do what they need to do. You need to remove the heavy metals. Zeolites are unique, these little biocatalysts, these little cages that are ionically charged, the opposite polarity of the metals in our body, and they attract them like little micromagnets, and they fit inside the cages, and they also bond to the outside of the cages. But heretofore, zeolites are large molecules that couldn't be absorbed by the body. And if the molecule is too large and it gets absorbed, you can have challenges in the liver and the kidney when you do the filtration. Urine is filtered blood. So we have to come up with a way to micronize these zeolites, and there's a couple of patents out there and a couple of geniuses that came up with ways to do it. You can do it with chemicals. You can do it with acids. You're basically starting out with a stone, and that stone has to get broken down into little tiny microclusters. So when Donna brought me the program and she said, there's got to be a better way to do this, I remember a story, sorry, in the Bible, and I'm not going to start something, real hard, but it's a great book, and there's great science in the Bible. And I remember a long time ago, the folks used to take fire and put the fire up against the walls of the marble on the caves that they were trying to create holes in the caves to create little rooms for people to live in. And they were also trying to break down the stone on the caves so they could use that stone, grind it up to make mortars to create bricks. And how they would do that is they would light fires really hot, put them up against these marble and all these stone clusters, you know, these mountainsides. And then once it got really, really hot, they'd take a bucket of water and throw it on the wall, and the wall would shatter. So that was early form of fracking. It would break it up. So that was a thermal reaction that was so expansive that when that rock cooled down, it would bust into pieces because cooling made it expand. So I remember that story. She's telling me about these rocks. That picture comes to my mind, gives me the message, and I said, well, that's all we need to do. We need to try fracking. So we wrote a new patent. Our patent application is accepted. We have a patent pending number, and we use that in the pure product. And what we do is we take these stones, these zeolites, and we bring them in from Australia because we want to make sure that we pick a good harvest zone. Because remember, these things are designed to attract heavy metals. If we harvest them in the wrong zone, they're not waiting to meet some human body. They're attracting heavy metals from planet Earth. You want to get a clean source. Then we have a special process that we can remove the heavy metals. But then we have a fracking process. I want to break those particles down. We bring them down to 320 degrees below Fahrenheit using freezing. We do the opposite of what it said in the Bible. We get them very cold. And then we drop them in 212 degree water. It's a over 500 degree change, and they explode almost into a gas. The gas releases any residual heavy metals, and then we let these settle out in a 24-hour period, and we separate the solution. So that's basically our patent. That separated solution is that clear solution that you see that is a fracked new patent program that gets us the micronized zeolites that goes into your body through any water solution, and then will be small enough to attract the heavy metals in the human body and be filtered by the liver and the kidney and passed in urine, which results in a reduction in heavy metals. And if you're on it for at least 90 days, you'll get a really thorough cleanse, and no reason not to take it continuously because you're continuously bombarded from heavy metals from the aluminum in the cans and all the things in cooked foods and everything else. So that's the big story. Sorry for getting too detailed, but that is very unique, and nobody else has it in that form. Donna, do you have any questions on Pure?
Yes. I have one question that gets asked quite a bit, including from Mary Lou in Houston, wants to know, does the zeolite, the heavy metal activity, the cleansing, does it cross the blood-brain barrier?
Yes. So the size of the molecule is important to pass the blood-brain barrier. And the fracking gives us the tools to break down the molecules, the pieces of those stones, if you will, into small nanoparticles. Because remember, a zeolite is a cage, and inside the hole of the cage resides is the best chance for accumulating the most heavy metals. But the zeolite is also a charged particle. So a small, tiny piece of it is still going to be a magnet, like a safety pin is going to stick to a magnet on the outside. The same thing. So you saw my videos, and you saw those little round blue circles on that electron microscope where I had single cells, single one-piece cages. So you think about a honeycomb in your mind's eye. You got 60 little tiny honeycombs. When I do that fracking, freeze it down and heat it up, it doesn't break in an abnormal way. It's not like ripping a phone book. They break on the lines around the octagons of each of the honeycombs. And that's why you saw in that video little tiny single microspheres. So I have the magnetic potential on the outside of the cage, and I have the trapping potential of the inside of the cage. And those baby cages are so small that they pass the blood-brain barrier and then can fill up and still pass again and make it to the liver and the kidney. Did that make sense?
That's brilliant. I mean, that makes it a smart molecule. It's a smart mineral, I should say. That's brilliant. All right, Robert, you got anything on Pure? Any questions?
I'm still furiously writing notes, getting my mind blown over here. I don't have any questions at this point, but a lot of work to do there. Kevin, I know we have started a video process that I want to continue to go over with you, because what you've created is so unique. No one's ever really told this story, And so we obviously want to tell the story and put it in such a context that people can watch a video and get their minds blown too, so they understand why this is so relevant. But no, I don't have any questions at this point.
All right, excellent. Thank you. Okay, Timeless. This is, oh gosh, Kevin, how long have we been working on Timeless? So for a long, long time, and this, I mean, it's been a brainchild of Kevin of taking a top seller in another direct sales company, one that has been responsible for hundreds of millions of dollars in sales, but it was a horrible eye cream because it had left white residue. It was really nasty, dried out your skin actually, but it did take away all of the wrinkles and the bags because it just, tightened up the skin. And ended up, the challenge to Kevin was, can you take this product, improve it, and make it last so that the more you use, whatever product you come up with would actually be beneficial to your skin instead of harming it. And lo and behold, seriously, 9 months later, Kevin gave birth to Timeless. So Kevin, why don't you talk about the science and, the science technology behind Timeless, if you could?
Well, let me tell you something I've learned, and Donna, you know me well. When you make it all about the money and you follow the money will evaporate. When you make it all about the results of a product, the results never change. And you can count on the result time after time after time, and that will result in money. And other companies pitch their programs, this is neat. Look at this big dramatic demonstration, what happens in 2 minutes, and oh my gosh, get people signed up. Look at how much money you're going to make, and then it's all about the money. If we ignore all that for a minute, because I'm a scientist, I focus on CELL, and I'm not a marketer that focuses on SELL. What happens in the skin, in the epidermis? How does hydration work? How do the blood cells work? Why do we get a wrinkle in the first place? And there's a lot of science and technology out of there, and some of the skincare companies that are national brands, they have it understood. It's been proven that the hyaluronic acid, excuse me, it's been proven that that is a hydrating molecule, that it will seek to attract and expand and retain hydration within its own sphere. So imagine these little balloons that are hydratable, and every time they get near hydration, they're going to keep more in, and they're going to keep doning it. If you got Restylane shot for $250 in your eyes, you're going to get hyaluronic acid. So we need to take that hyaluronic acid, and we need to deliver it transdermally into the skin and through the skin. And the skin has oils in it. So the skin has a fat-soluble layer, and the skin has a water-soluble layer. And these are small microparticles. So we don't want them to absorb the water in the product or the water in the face. We put them in a liposome. We put them in a like a fat sphere, if you will. So we can get it transdermally. The body will absorb the liposome, the lipid, the fat. And that's good to get a little bit of fat absorbed transdermally, so we can put back the oils and put back the proteins and the peptides and that which the skin needs to survive and be balanced. And inside that is this little moisture treat that's demanding moisture, retaining moisture, and not being dissolved and separated by and thrown out through the liver and kidney, pancreas, spleen, and all the things that happen. It's not being wasted because it's going to hang around because it's trapped in that lipoid. Then we take the other ingredients, and you can see them on the label, and I don't want to break down the entire formula. Those that are partners here can see what's on the label. There's really great tested ingredients that will rebuild the DNA, rebuild the tissue from the cellular level to create more oxygenation. Oxygen is just as important, if not more important, than hydration. When you think of oxygen, you think of H2O. I got more oxygen than I have hydrogen. It's an essential thing. We need food, we need air, we need sunlight, and we need rest. The only one you can't do without in 3 minutes is the air. It's the most important thing. So oxygenating nutrients that act as an antioxidant, that stop the rusting, that stop the degradation, that provide DNA repair in partnership with oxygen and hydration, delivered through the skin, is going to give you the long-term repair to rebuild the damage that is evident in a wrinkle. That story is what's missing in the other facial clays. and they're facial clays. You go just get some dirt in the backyard and stick it on your face. Or you could pay $79.95 and join that company that, I don't even want to say their name. That dirt that shrinks the face is cute for a couple of hours, but it's like Spanx for the eyes. If you're still a big fat tard and you're wearing your Spanx, you look good for a couple of hours, but you're still a big fat tard. Sorry for saying it that way, but that's what's happening to your eye. Yes, I want an immediate look. I want instant results. I want to enjoy the benefits of beauty in an instant. We have that. We have those clays. We have those functional minerals that will get you that result. But if they are not partnered with a rejuvenating compound, with a hydrating and oxygenating compound, and things that rebuild the DNA, we're only going to mask the problem and continue to expand the dimension of our wrinkles as we age. So by feeding these cells and feeding these nutrients, we can do a long-term repair over time. And you're going to see difference in 90 days, 120, 180 days without taking the product. Keep a photo library of yourself. When you take a picture, draw a line right down your nose and right across your nostril and get that selfie right up there. Get that eyeball completely in that frame and take that picture and save it. It's got a date on it. And every 30, 60, 90 days, keep looking. If the product's not working for you, then this is not for you. And I think that person is going to be extremely rare. But we want to see the change, you know. Donna, my puppy is like 25 pounds now. When I look at her, I still see the little puppy. I don't see that she got real big. When we get rid of our wrinkles, yeah, I don't know that much of a difference. But if I see these pictures, oh, my God, there's a major change that has happened in the last couple of months. And there's the competitive advantage that the next company doesn't have true longevity repair at the cellular level. I tend to babble. Sorry about that, but I'm excited about that one. That thing is really cool.
No, it is very cool. Thank you. Okay, so this brings up, Robert, before I want to get into specific technology, is there anything you had on Timeless?
For me on specific technology?
No, I'm going to ask you something about specifically liposome technology, because that's going to segue into what we're going to talk about next. But Robert, did you have anything about Timeless?
Nope.
Awesome.
I mean, I do, but
I can tell you what.
I'll save it for offline calls because it's more marketing related. As I continue to get my mind blown at, you know, I hope everyone listening is understanding what you're hearing, what you're seeing. I'm getting texts from different people on the phone that their minds are being blown. Thank you, Kevin, for sharing, because we have not done an effective enough job, I can tell you what, to really share the value and power of what Elevacity has with your products. I mean, I'm just, all these notes we'll get back to, but I want to really up the game and really craft better marketing pieces, you know, story pieces, because this is important, life-changing stuff people need to know. So again, thanks for that. But no, Don, I'm ready to. I know you have a question, and we'll get to the last piece here.
Well, we can talk about it during the last piece because that ties right into it. So go ahead, Robert. Why don't we get talking about the next part, the big announcement?
Okay, so
I'm excited.
About a year ago, as a lot of people who are here with us in Elevacity were in the continuation of the journey we've been on as a collective group and company, and we got introduced to xanthol humol, as most of you are aware, and it's you know, such a powerful molecule that they discovered from the hops plant, and this, you know, the most exciting thing for us, as everybody knows, well, especially back then when we got introduced to this, you know, the master molecule that it is one of the biggest breakthroughs for me was, not for me, the breakthrough about xanthol humols. It is the only natural ingredient that will tell your body to release its own oxytocin, as you guys all know, you know, commonly referred to as the hormone of happiness. But that product, Meridium, that of course we have been selling, when we got together, and Don and I got together, and then we got together with Kevin, and we started really looking at xanthol humol and all the potentiality that it has, including Donna, what you're about to talk or ask about, and what we're about to talk about next, is more enhanced or specialized delivery systems, like you're both talking about right now, to get these nutrients, these molecules into your body and have a even greater bioavailability. So Meridium's been a great product up to this point in its water soluble path and the way it's been working. But we have been putting together, and this is really, again, what Kevin and Donna have been working on, is the next evolution of a xanthol humol product. And that's what the announcement is going to be tonight. But before I show the slide and show everybody, Kevin, I'd love to, this conversation we were having earlier today, I'd love for you to share what's coming next with a xanthol humol product.
Okay. So we all have a basic understanding of what a xanthol humol is, and that it's an extract from the hops plant. So I work with a company overseas that makes thousands of gallons of hops extract on a daily basis and supplies the global brewery industry. So these guys are pros. These guys work with agriculture, and they own thousands of acres, and they grow different hops, and there's different varieties, and there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. And the xanthol humol is an identifiable nutrient that can be concentrated and extracted. But once extracted, whether it's in a liquid or a powder state, it has to be converted to be a bioavailable nutrient. You could make it fat soluble, you could partially water soluble, which is a lot more bioavailable than just the straight xanthol humol, but it's still partial. There's still sacrifice that happens. How does xanthol humol break down in the chemistry lab for us to be able to see it in our computers, to be able to diagnose it, to be able to measure it? We have to put it into a soluble state so our computers will identify the molecule. Otherwise, it's going to stay floating in the water, and we're not going to be able to identify it. So in science, what we have to do on a Petri dish to make it work in our computers is exactly what we have to do in the body to make it work in our cells. In the Petri dish, we have to bring the pH above neutral. pH is potential hydrogen, but you've all heard the pH, acid to alkaline, goes from 0 to 14. 0 or 7 is neutral. Our blood is around 7.34, 7.4. The xanthol humol will not be bioavailable, not be enzyme reacted, and not absorb until it is above neutral. When you put it in an acid liquid for shelf stability, you're not putting it into a pH neutral environment where it can be absorbed. So you don't want it in an orange juice environment, you want it in a milk environment to get you the idea of the acid and alkaline difference. Instead of doing that in a liquid, which makes it difficult to have shelf stability because there's always going to be a challenge, that yeast could grow or some light molds can grow. They're not toxic to you, but there's a challenge for that. Plus, to get it into the body, we have to go through the gastric acids of the stomach. If your stomach's 5 pH, 5.5 pH, I don't care what you put in, it's going to get acidified. Then when it goes down into the colon, into your intestines, you've got 6.5. You've got a higher alkaline environment. So we've kind of taken a couple of things that you've heard of tonight, and we've put them all together in a soup. We start off with a digestive resistant capsule that is pH specific to the lower intestine to allow the powdered nutrient to get past stomach acids, get into the intestine, where a higher pH environment will then allow the capsule to dissolve. The capsule itself will promote a higher pH environment. Now let's look at this 1 or 2 inch cube of an intestine, this 2 inch hose, just for your mind's eye. Here comes this pill, we're in this 2 inch hose, and you've got hundreds of feet of that. In that 2 inch hose, this capsule breaks apart, these particles are released. There is proteasome particles that are pH balanced in those dots, in all of those, in that soup that's starting to be created. The xanthohumol hops extract is in that environment. There's calcites that we put in that environment, and all of that creates an above basic 7.5, 7.6 pH environment, and it allows all of those nutrients to work in a positive alkaline pH state to be absorbed into the mucosa, to be absorbed in the intestinal, and you'll get complete absorption of the nutrient because it's pH balanced and delivered into the intestine where it's supposed to be. So that's going to be your delivery system, but there's another condition that nobody has ever addressed, and you probably haven't heard of it. Hops, and we know this, is proestrogenic, estrogen. And for gals, a little bit's okay. And for guys, it's not okay. We get the scientific term man boobs and beer belly. And the other thing that happens when guys become proestrogenic, when they eat stuff like soy or they drink too much beer, the estrogen hormone levels get imbalanced. And when they get imbalanced, testosterone suffers. So bad for the guy. He's going to get the man boobs and the beer belly and other erectile challenges, etc. He needs to have testosterone and wants to avoid estrogen. Hops, when extracted, naturally contains proestrogenic compounds, and they're non-avoidable. And you're taking this on a daily basis to be happy and euphoric every day and to get the benefits of the antioxidant, the power of xanthohumol, but I don't want the side effects to be a contributor to my estrogenic levels. Testosterone is also important for women as it is in men. There's a lot of women that have low T. That gives you your strength hormone. That allows you to have the muscle movement, the muscle reactions, and all of that. Testosterone is not a guy-only compound. It's about hormonal balance. There is another nutrient that we'll disclose that's the subject of the patent that we're writing, and the patent belongs to Elevacity. The patent does not belong to me or my laboratory. I don't build these things for my benefit. We have a benefit as a team. And so the Elevacity patent that I'm writing has this very unique natural ingredient that loves estrogen and converts it to testosterone and does it in an average pH. I can do it anywhere from 4 to 9. So it's going to work in any pH environment. So any of the proestrogenic effect that we're going to get from taking hops is going to work to convert that. And we're putting in more than we need because we still like beers, we still like other proestrogenic compounds, we still can't avoid soy in our diet. So if we increase the availability of that nutrient, it will continue to help the hormonal balance and get rid of our proestrogenic condition and create a protestosterone condition, especially for those of us over 50. And you don't have to get the shots. And that in itself is a very important change, but that is the uniqueness that allows us to write the patent. And the patent's going to be the capsule delivery system with the pH-resistant capsule, the pH delivery system with the solution that promotes the proper pH, and the estrogenic defender of this other compound. Those three things together in themselves are unique enough, but as a triangle is going to give us the best possible nutrient delivery. And if you've ever gotten excited about the product's ability and what you've seen it do in your body, I think you're going to see 2- and 3-fold when this product gets into your system. This is really unique, it's exciting, and nobody has this technology.
Wait. So for people who have been taking Meridium, and we have faithful followers, we're going to, just so I'm dumbing it down in layman's term, presenting a xanthohumol product that will deliver to the cells. Are you saying 3 to 4 times the effectiveness of what we're
No, I'm going to say 2 to 3
been
times.
using?
I'm going to say 2 to 3 times. I want to give the benefit of the doubt to the former formulas that are out there.
And this is bioavailable, meaning it gets right to the cell.
Correct. And the liposome is also going to help create nanospheres for the small molecules to deliver xanthohumol to the brain. There's a lot. I could talk for an hour on each one of these things, and you can tell I'm a big mouth.
Wow.
I think, you know, the biggest thing that I'm hearing, besides the obvious, that we are now about to deliver arguably maybe the most relevant product ever, considering all of the studies, all of the research, all of the values of this, the reason they call it the master molecule. To do what you're doing and explaining now, Kevin, the way I'm understanding this, just to clarify for myself and for everybody listening, the previous version, the Meridian version in water, now I'm kind of understanding if we're ingesting that, I'm guessing that besides the pH factor, that product, or very little of it, is getting to that place you're describing in the intestines, so that it can really get to work past, you know, the acidic environment going down our throat in the water, right? I mean,
correct. In the current Meridian, the best thing to do would not dilute it, put it in your mouth, hold it under your tongue, and let it sit there for 2 minutes. That's a higher alkaline environment, has a better potential, and if you really wanted to be a scientist, you'd chew up a Tums, increase the alkalinity of the mouth, and then put it in your mouth for 2 minutes.
Okay.
Can I just take a pill instead?
That's the goal.
Yeah,
that's what's going to be the new Xanthomax. And it's only one. You only have to take one.
One.
Yeah.
Just one
So,
capsule.
maximum absorption. That's the key here. Is you're talking about almost. I wrote it down. You're talking about complete absorption. Those are the words you use. I'm saying maximum absorption. That's why everybody, you can see on your screen, our new product is called Xanthomax, and it is going to be, as you just heard, I don't even have words for it yet of my excitement, but you know, it is going to be patented, like Kevin said. We're working on this collectively and together. It's ours, and it's going to elevate on a whole nother level what we've been doing, especially when the things we've been talking about with, you know, these other products that we have that Kevin is created. When we start, you know, when we continue talking about dose, for example, Kevin, I know we've been talking about that a lot. You know, the combination of now Xanthomax and Elevate. You know, I already know what people are going through, what they're experiencing, what I'm feeling. You know, you know, the releasing of these, you know, 4 neuro happy chemicals is life changing itself. So, but here it is, everybody. Xanthomax coming out pretty quick here. I know we're not talking about any timelines, but it's imminent. We're replacing Meridian right now, mostly because we have gotten to our last batch, and we're at the point of running out, or run out. I don't know, Donna, where we're at, but
well,
what else?
Honestly, there's no, when you have science, upgraded science, and, you know, hats off to the prior formulator, but when you have current and updated science, you almost have an obligation to attach that science and technology, and that's what Kevin has done. I appreciate your brilliance. I love the liposome technology being used here. That is one of the hot trend words. And so when you have a better product, it just makes corporate responsibility to go ahead and replace Meridian as you have now noticed on your website, we have taken it down in anticipation for this. And Kevin and his team in Florida they know this is of high priority, and we're looking at a ship date very, 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 very soon. So Kevin, thank you so much, because this is a product I know people are going to fall in love with. And thank you for just taking the time to make and elevate what we had. So
the Trade Commission is telling me by a week from tomorrow we should have our patent pending number. And when we come out with the product, we're going to have all of our disclosure on the label, and we want to be protected. So when you sell the product, we don't want a bunch of people running down to the trademark office and knocking us off. I mean, the four products that we've talked about tonight, any one of these products is enough to build a direct sales company on. We talked about that eye cream company that the other guy did. They built a company on that, $1 billion empire. So any one of these, you can do that. So having all of the systems and then having access, and I'm kind of bragging, but to an endless facility, it's endless, the things that we can come out with. And we're just going to keep coming out with them because we have a partnership that listens to us and we listen to them. This relationship, Donna, that we have, and Robert and this team, we're one company. It's like you guys own the factory and I own your distribution relationships, and together we're one entity, and it's limitless.
It is completely factual and true. We appreciate. I'm ecstatic about this relationship, partnership. We are operating as one, and it's exciting because listen, we're talking about building a legacy company. A lot of people like to claim that or say that, but when you can grow like what you just said, Kevin, the most relevant thing, besides the fact that we have 4 products that can independently of each other build 100 million plus annual business in the next year, independent of each, by themselves. When you really study legacy companies like Amway, Amway has a catalog. People that are buying from Amway, a 40-plus-year-old direct selling company, that every single thing in their household is purchased from that catalog. So that's where I'd like to drive us to, is as we continue to develop life-changing, elevating products, and we are starting to replace the products that you're buying elsewhere, you're transferring your spending, and before you know it, we have 40, 50, 100 products that are, again, life elevating. And of course, you're all here. Everybody here in Elevacity is here because you're a home-based entrepreneur. You're the delivery mechanism for how these products get shared with the world. They're not going to be available in stores. So it's very exciting times, very exciting. And again,
you can't get these ingredients, these compounds, these presentations. They don't exist anywhere.
Yeah.
It's not like you're selling something that everybody else has. These 4 are great breakthrough leaders to get the attention of fellowship and of everybody working together, and then we'll get into those other products. But these things are going to, you give a sample of this product, people are going to notice a difference in their life. That is a powerful tool.
And that's something I want to bring up too, being that this is a capsule. Imagine the power of being able to sample a better xanthol humol product. That is brilliant beyond comprehension. So we're getting flooded right now, Kevin, Robert, with questions. When is ordering going to be available? When is pricing going to be available? Do you want to go ahead and address that now, or keep everybody waiting?
No, right now. I mean, people are jumping out of their skin right now. So the price is going to be exactly the same as Meridian was. So wholesale, retail, same exact price point. And we are going to, Donna, correct me if I'm wrong, this will be up and available to start pre-ordering tomorrow.
Yeah. We'll set it up for pre-order tomorrow. So this is going to be the replacement. And at this, I mean, that's, you guys have an incredible CEO to give you guys a better product at the same cost. Kevin's shaking his head going, well, okay, that's awesome.
Oh, no,
So,
I almost broke my neck, but that's okay.
so you guys, this is a huge gift, and thank you to our CEO, Robert Arwan, for taking the faith and believing in the science and technology and what we have here. You guys are going to do amazing with this.
I want to reiterate the point that Kevin made and why we are as one, why we're so aligned. And that is, it is not about the money. It is about transformation. It's about elevating lives. The money shows up after that. We're going to change millions of lives. Guess what? You're making billions of dollars. So if you're not chasing the money and you're chasing, what did you say, Kevin? You're chasing the results.
Yes.
That's what this is about. We don't need to. Yeah, is this product worth more than Meridium? 100%, absolutely. But this is about transferring the value so that we can gain the results, because what's going to happen, just like with Elevate, people's lives are going to transform with this product. This product, here's your next product that could stand by itself as a direct selling product in a company. We could get rid of everything else, and this product, can change a whole lot of lives. I'm talking about financially. So it's an epic turn of events with this particular product, and I think this is just the beginning. But for sure, it's not about the price point and the money. Of course, we have to be stable as a company. We have to create revenues for you to win as a home-based entrepreneur. But really, this is about the transformation and the result of what's going to happen, because the cause and effect of that is that people's lives will be changed, and then the product will sell itself because people will be sharing it, just like Elevate. It's kind of what I was trying to mean. But I couldn't be more excited about what's about to happen next, as if the first month of January wasn't already epic enough, with a $700 guarantee and a new highly evolved compensation model with new websites and new videos. And did I tell you we're only 7 months new? It's pretty exciting.
That's cool.
And what about
Robert,
those stick packs?
Yeah, the stick packs, neat for sharing. Can I add one last thing from Kevin?
Of course.
The sales training for these products is going to be extremely difficult, and you might not be able to master it, but let me tell you the sales training program. You meet somebody. Hi, try this. Isn't that great? You want some? Now, we're going to have special training on that at the bar tonight.
It's exactly what I was meaning to say. It's the same thing, that was already happening with Elevate. All you got to do is get in their mouth. Now, all you got to do is get this pill in their mouth, and it's literally game over. It's all you have to do. Sales training, forget a napkin presentation. Just pop this pill and get happier. So listen.
Wow.
Thanks everybody. We didn't lose a single person on this extra long hour and 15-minute campfire call. Thanks everybody for being here. Obviously, this is being recorded. It'll be rendered and up in the back office tonight for everybody who I know is jumping off this call right now to call everybody to scream in excitement, so that you need to get your people into the back office so that they can listen and learn to this presentation. Thank you, Kevin Thomas, so much for everything, for trusting us in your what's the word I'm looking for? Your vision, your products that I know that there are a whole lot of much bigger, more frankly, better funded companies that could spend a whole lot of money in these kind of life-changing products. But thank you for trusting us and believing in us and our mission and collective vision of where we're going together, like you said. So thank you so much.
You've got to figure it out. Thank you, guys.
Yep.
Thank you, Kevin.
Donna,
yes.
with that,
Woo.
I'm done. Thank you.
That's fine. I'm fired up. Every single one of you should be fired up tonight. So be on the lookout in the back office tomorrow. And Also, as a little housekeeping, anyone who had Meridium in their auto ship will need to add this product to your auto ship. We spent the day today kind of going through. You don't want to lose your bonus qualified status, so that's very, very important. And with that, everyone, thank you again, and I guess that's it.